mode. I'm an animal. Beat 'em up, heat 'em up, eat 'em up, cannibal. Talk back, cut back, ride with the hammer pulled. Everything that anybody say ain't understandable. Beast mode.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to yet another episode of Crash the Canvas. I'm your host, David Mitchell, a.k.a. Dirty Mitch, and happy Sunday, October 23rd, 2022. Happy anniversary to me and my wife, 23 years strong today. Touch up on that later on in this episode. We'll kick this off with the week that was in AEW, finish up with the week that was in WWE, and give you your Halloween Havoc results of Halloween Havoc 2022 from Orlando this year, put on by WWE NXT. So let's kick it off right now. Dynamite kicked off with a trios titles match with the best friends of Trent Beretta, Chuck Taylor, and freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy going against the Death Triangle. Let me say this. Say what you want about Orange Cassidy, and I'm an old school fan, and I was a little wary of him at first, right? But, man, the dude's self-made. Got himself over on the simplest gimmick. And, you know, he recently won the All-Atlantic Championship from PAC like a week ago. And if you've never seen, you got to see him now carry the title to the ring. He doesn't carry it to the ring. He has a backpack on, right? And the coolest shit, he gets in, he slides the backpack, he gets down, he unzips it up, unzips it and pulls the belt out, right? He doesn't wear it, he doesn't do, let me see this. He doesn't do the traditional over the shoulder or around the waist or just carrying it, you know what I mean? He puts it in a backpack, right? Anyway, all that over in the world wasn't enough to get the job done as the Death Triangle walks away victorious. I think we seen a little bit of dissension within the Death Triangle with Rey Fenix kind of getting a little upset with PAC's antics of constantly wanting to use the ring bell or the hammer, that dings the ring a little bit. So we'll see where that, could we see some dissension? Could we see some new trios champions somewhere down the road from somebody? Who knows? We'll see how that comes. But anyway, yet again, Death Triangle defeats the best friends for and still your AEW Trios Championship. And then you had a backstage promo with Dr. Britt Baker, and she was lightly trashing sideways. Because one of them had made a comment about at some point within the next year, somebody within their group, DMD, Britt Baker and her girls, were going to be the new AEW interim women's champion. And Britt Baker said, no, we're going to be the AEW women's champion. But that's another story. Let me tell you something. I guarantee you, when she's healthy enough to come back, Thunder Rosa's going to come back and whip all your asses. Every one of you skanks have to answer to La Mera Mera. Get well soon, Thunder Rosa. Always hoping for the best for you. But then they came out, Dr. Britt Baker and DMD, they came out and jumped Toni Storm after her match. And Saraya came out and, man, she manhandled Britt Baker. That's going to be an interesting program. And can't wait to see Saraya back in the ring, Jay Lethal and Sanjay Dutt had a backstage segment where they jumped Darby Allin and trapped him in the garage door. Like they were jumping on him and brought the garage door down on him. So hopefully Darby's okay. No ill will there. Then I didn't think this dude's promos could get any fucking better, but I think the promo segment with MJF and William Regal, I think was the promo of the year, hands down. I would almost say it was the best promo in wrestling / sports entertainment in the last 15 years. And I'll go back as far as CM Punk's pipe bomb. That promo was on point. They hit on all cylinders on that one. Then you had Dalton Castle and Ocho, Y2 Ocho, Chris Jericho, the Ring of Jericho world champion, right? And once again, Y2 Ocho, let me do it. Ocho does it again. But this time, he continues to run through the list of former Ring of Honor world champions, right? Out comes Jerry Lynn, who is retired, also a former Ring of Honor world champion, right? And Chris Jericho pile drives him on to the Ring of Honor world belt. Now, not sure if Jerry Lynn is in wrestling shape, but it'll be interesting to see who comes next, right? But again, Y2 Ocho, Chris Jericho, Jericho Appreciation Society, the Ring of Jericho world champion, defeats Dalton Castle. Then you had a promo by Jade Cargill, who said she was going to hold Rampage hostage on Friday if she didn't get her belt back from Nyla Rose. We'll get to that in a moment. But, man, what a main event. Jon Moxley versus Hangman Adam Page, right? And unfortunately, and it was a barn, for what we had of the match, it was kick-ass. It was kick-ass. But then, unfortunately, Hangman Adam Page took a hard lariat from Jon Moxley and suffered a concussion in the match, and they stopped the match. First of all, Godspeed to Hangman Adam Page. Whether you like the character or not, whether he's your favorite wrestler or not, whether you think he sucks, that man has a family. That man gets in there and entertains us and does this for a living to provide for his wife and kids. So Godspeed to you, Adam Page. Hangman, hope you get well soon. Can't wait to see you back in the ring. The interesting thing about that is because there was time left and they called, Moxley gets the mic, calls out MJF, says, I know you got this this poker chip. Why don't you fucking do it now? Now, the old MJF would have told Jon Moxley to go fuck himself, right? This new MJF, this slow babyface turn MJF, right? Loving it. He, just like he said, there's going to be a bidding war in 2024. But taking a page out of Busted Open's own two-time Hall of Famer, the most decorated tag team wrestler of all time, the King Deathmatch God, and now the holder of the Call Your Shot trophy in Impact Wrestling, Bully Ray. MJF says, I'm going to do it different. I'm not going to get you from behind. I'm not going to sneak attack you. I'm going to do it straight up to your face at All Out. I believe that's the next pay-per-view. So that's what we're going to get from AEW. The next pay-per-view is Jon Moxley versus MJF, AEW World Title. Also, on a side note, Ace Steel, on the backlash of this media scrum from Chicago. No, it's Full Gear. Sorry. Full Gear is the next pay-per-view. Full Gear. So that's where you'll have MJF versus Moxley. But at the fallout of that all-out scrum, Ace Steel, who was the trainer of CM Punk, who was also involved in the backstage melee, has been released. It's also now being reported within the last few days that AEW and CM Punk are in the talks of a contract buyout. I think the holdup on the buyout isn't the amount of money, but it's a non-compete clause for so long, so he don't go to WWE. On a side note, Phil Brooks injured CM Punk injured his tricep. It's going to be out till late 2023 at best, right? So it'd be interesting to see where that goes. And then flip on to Rampage, and kind of disappointed a little bit. I'll say, I'm not saying a flag, and I'm not saying a thumbs down. I'm saying built off the hype of Dynamite. Kind of disappointed in Jade Cargill a little bit. I mean, she is one bad bitch, but she wasn't really true to her word. I'll get to that in a moment, because the show kicked off with the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn versus Tony Nese and Josh Wood and Smart Mark Sterling for the AEW tag team titles. Also at stake was the trademark of Scissor Me, Daddy, Scissor Me, Scissor Me. Yeah, was the trademark. But lo and behold, the Acclaim prevail, right? Retaining their AEW tag team titles, and then also in the at the same time winning the trademark back up for Scissor Me. Then you had Hook and Ari Daivari for the FTW title, and Hook continues to steamroll through him. He undefeated young kid. For those of you who don't know, it's the son of ECW legend and icon and former ECW world champion Taz. Still continuing to see big things out of him. Then you had Willow Nightingale. It was supposed to be Penelope Ford, but I guess Penelope Ford got hurt. So Jade Cargill substituted Layla Gray, and she did an in-ring vignette, or I mean a backstage vignette with Tony Schiavone, and said she's going to get her shit back. So Willow Nightingale upsets Layla Gray, and now Willow Nightingale is all elite. Congratulations to Willow Nightingale. Got her AEW stripes and got her contract. Can't wait to see what she brings to the AEW women's division in the future. But then Jade Cargill comes out with a steel chair, sits it in the middle of the ring, says she ain't going nowhere. Then Nyla and the Vicious Vixens appear up on the screen, say we got this, and then lo and behold, they tell her that they're in her rental car. Hasta la vista. We'll see what happens next. Jade sat there for a minute and then got up, attacked a few security guards, and left. That's where I said she didn't hold true to her word. If you're going to hijack a show, you got to do it Steve Austin style, the way he kicked off Raw one time. You got to do it Daniel Bryan style with the Yes Movement. Getting in there, sitting in there for a little bit, finishing the segment out, and then leaving. No, that's not hijacking the show. That's just doing the segment. And then you had, to close off this 1 hour rampage, you had Preston Vance versus freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy and Roosh in a triple threat match for the All-Atlantic title. And still, your All-Atlantic, AEW All-Atlantic champion, freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. I'll go ahead and give them 1 thumbs up, 1.5 thumbs up, I guess. I think they kind of lost a little bit luster at the end of the week on Rampage for what they built on Dynamite. But overall, I was impressed with Dynamite because it looked like they were mixing the matches and interview segments, and they did more vignettes, which I liked more vignettes than backstage interviews, right? You only need so many backstage interviews per show. And then, as you're building a story, you want vignette, maybe vignette, interview, respond, vignette, But overall, good week for AEW. Let's kick it off, send it off to Monday night. Before we send it to Monday Night Raw, I want to let everybody know how to get a hold of me. You can follow me on Twitter at ShowMeStateGoon. That's at Show Me State Goon on Twitter. You can like, share, and subscribe this YouTube channel. Just search David Mitchell or Crash the Canvas. You can also email me, dirtymitch417 at yahoo.com. That's dirtymitch417 at yahoo.com. And also, I want to plug some merch. Go over to... Go over to LaGrecasRage.com. That's LaGrecasRage.com, and get you some fire-ass hot sauce by the most hardest working man in radio, Mr. Dave LaGreca. You can get a bottle autographed, put up on the man cave on the shelf in the man cave. You can get you a bottle for the cabinet. But that's LaGrecasRage.com. Also, get you some hardcore coffee at richportcoffee.com. That's RICHPORTCOFFEE.com. click the drop down box, click Hardcore Coffee. You can get it already ground or you can get it in the bean form. And that's from your man, the icon, the innovator of violence, the landlord of the House of Hardcore. And if he's not a WWE Hall of Famer by 2024, we're going to tear fucking Philadelphia up. I'm talking about Busted Open Zone Tommy Dreamer. Anyway, that's richportcoffee.com for the Tommy Dreamer coffee. That's LaGrecasRage.com for the hot sauce. Check those guys out. Big supporters, big friends, and love them to death. Anyway, let's kick off to Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw kicked off with Bobby Lashley calling out Brock Lesnar. And then, the traditional melee started. And actually, two things of that. I loved the old school Slayer shirt that Lesnar wore to the ring. That's kind of the I don't give a fuck. I'm going to wear what I want to the ring. I'm Brock fucking Lesnar. Love that. But anyway, at the end of that, Lesnar was kind of... also, excuse the noise. The dogs are outside. So, sorry about the dogs there. The mic kind of picks them up down here in the basement. But Brock Lesnar was laid out in the end. Kind of, this is gonna kind of be interesting. But it was also announced later on Monday Night Raw that Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley will be facing off at Crown Jewel. I hope that this is not just a one-off between them. I hope this leads to a fight pit match. Because if there's ever two motherfuckers in the WWE right now that could legitimately put on a fucking fight pit match without needing a fucking script, it's Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar. So, but the OC, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows beat the Alpha Academy, and then Judgment Day comes down and challenges the OC at Crown Jewel, which later on in the evening, Dominic Mysterio upsets AJ Styles of the OC with the help of the Judgment Day interference. So we'll see what that does leading up to their big match, the OC of AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson versus the Judgment Day of Dominic Mysterio, Damian Priest, and Finn Balor. Mustafa Ali continues to let Seth Rollins know that he's his new problem. They did that in a backstage segment. That'll come back later on. That'll come back later on in the show. But Damage Control beat Bianca Belair and Candice LeRae ahead of Bianca's title defense next Monday night on Raw against Bayley. We'll see if Damage Control can really take control. They got the women's tag titles. Let's see if they can get the Raw women's title. Also, it's now JBL is now the new manager / consultant of bum-ass Baron Corbin. I guess he ain't bum-ass Baron Corbin now, but Baron Corbin defeats Dolph Ziggler. And then like I said, you had AJ losing to Dominic Mysterio via Judgment Day interference. The Miz jumped Dexter Lumis before their match, so there wasn't no Dexter Lumis match. But I can guarantee you, Mike, this like Johnny Gargano said, this ain't over. There's something more there. Elias returned to a nice pop. Matt Riddle came out, and he ends up having a U.S. title match with Seth Rollins. And then after that's over, Mustafa Ali comes out and attacks Seth Rollins. Like I said, Mustafa said, Seth, I'm your new problem. You better get used to it. So it's going to be interesting for the U.S. title going forward, which is pretty cool. But there was something else I wanted to say about the... Here is one thing with, I get it. It's hard. You got 3 hours, but I believe the match placement on this one could have went a little better, maybe. But either way, fair show for Monday Night Raw, because I hate to say it, they're starting to be treated as the second brand now behind SmackDown and slowly losing the steam to NXT, in my opinion. And then we'll just give a quick SmackDown rundown. I didn't really get to watch it. I had DVR problems. Plus, I had an anniversary party, which I'll touch on in a minute. Pretty freaking cool moment of the night. A couple of them, actually. But let's see. Solo Sikoa beats Sheamus. And, man, I think we got a slight preview of what could be an interesting Survivor Series, involving the Brawling Brutes, the Bloodline, and maybe even the Emporium. But then they go to a backstage segment, and talking about Logan Paul, and Jey Uso says, I'm going to teach him a fucking lesson, basically. And Sami Zayn says no. The Tribal Chief says no, he doesn't get touched. And then they go to segment. We'll get back to that later on with the promo. Then they cut to a Bray Wyatt segment with, Bray cutting another promo like under the bleachers backstage somewhere, which was pretty cool. Kind of laying out what he's going to do. The cool thing and the interesting thing is these little interruptions. I don't think we're getting the QR codes, but the little video interruptions are still coming. So that's the cool thing, because that kind of lets you know the story's not over. It's just beginning, and there's way more to it. But got Rey Mysterio picking up a win over a member of the Imperium. You had a pretty decent promo from Ronda in the back, basically telling him whatever she does, she's done for her. So I think you're getting full-fledged heel Ronda Rousey, which will make for a nice, whenever she's ready, a nice return for Charlotte Flair to come back as a babyface, get the title, and then go back to being a heel. Then you got fast forward to Saturday to Halloween Havoc. What an awesome day it was. My good friend Dave LaGreca, by the way, if you guys don't know who Dave LaGreca is the host and the creator of Busted Open Radio on Sirius XM Satellite Channel 156. He's been at this for 13 years. And to see the mainstream wrestling companies give this man his shine that he deserves after 13 years is just awesome, because he was a member of the pre-show panel with, I believe her name's Candace Mitchell and Sam Roberts. And Dave, just classic Dave, marked out himself and wore Dave LaGreca's shirt. So pretty awesome to see my good buddy Dave LaGreca on the WWE NXT Halloween Havoc pre-show. Love you, Dave. Love you, Violetta. Hope things are out good out in Vernon, New Jersey. But let's run over the card. Braun Breaker retains the NXT title in a triple threat match against JD McDonough and Dragunov. I'll get to the last. I'll save my two favorites for the last. But you had Julius Creed against Kemp in an ambulance match. Julius Creed wins, and his brother still gets to keep his contract. You had Perez beating Cora Jade in a some weapons match. Apollo Crews versus Waller in a casket match. Apollo Crews is victorious. The one thing, the only thing that disappointed me about the show is it kind of advertised a lot of the old-fashioned WCW spin the wheel, make the deal thing. And I think they only had 2 matches that actually spun the wheel, make the deal. Most notably the Apollo Crews match. But 2 favorite matches of the night. The Fatal 4-Way ladder match for the vacant North American Championship, where you had Carmelo Hayes, Von Wagner, and Nate Frazier, and upstart underdog Wes Lee. And you want to talk about a way to kick off the fucking show and excitement and grab the crowd. That match was it, because that match had a little bit of everything, right? And lo and behold, this is where I love my man Dave LaGreca. Dave LaGreca said when in the prediction, he was the only one that called for Wes Lee to win. And lo and behold, winner and your new AEW, golly, I fumbled that one, didn't I? Fuck! Oh well. And your new NXT North American champion, Wes Lee, right? His first ever title, singles or tag in any promotion, Independence NXT. Congratulations, Wes. Going to Walmart later to get one of your dolls. Big ups for you. But my favorite match of the night, and this is crazy, was Mandy Rose versus Alba Fire. Now, anybody think back to when the pandemic started, right? And that first WrestleMania with no fans, where they did it from the Performance Center, and the Undertaker and AJ Styles had that Boneyard Click match or Boneyard match, right? And it was all a cinematic type deal. Well, I'm not sure, and they did it down in Orlando. So this might have been the same lot that they rented out to do that, but they did something totally similar to start off the Mandy Rose Alba Fire match in the cinematic form and then back to the Performance Center. But no matter what Alba Fire could do, Mandy Rose is still your NXT Women's Champion, and what a Halloween Havoc. I love the way, hey man, big ups to both, all companies. Also, big shout out to Impact Wrestling. You got Bully Ray and Tommy Dreamer. I guess you could say one last dance. I hate to use that. I love those guys. And just like Tommy said, he makes more money wrestling independently than he does, a lot of, guys under contract. And he gets to go home when he wants. So big ups to Impact. You got NWA Hard Times 3 coming up. Looking forward to that. Hoping somebody can shut that douche canoe Matt Cardona up once and for all. If they can't do it at Hard Times 3, I know a nice place and a kick-ass person that's going to do it. December 17th at the ECW Arena, and that's Bully Ray versus Matt Cardona. Not sure where you can stream that. Hopefully you can find that somewhere. That's pretty kick-ass. But before I go, I like I said at the beginning, this was mine and my wife's 23rd wedding anniversary, right? And today, can't believe that, 8,400 days me and my wife have been together. I don't know where I'd be without you, Christina. I do. I take it back. I'd be dead, or I'd be in prison for life. You saved my life. You stuck by my side. Put up with my shenanigans. You seen me at my lowest. You're seeing me at my highest. You inspire me to, follow my dreams and my hobbies as I'm doing with this podcast. And I love you. And I can't thank enough for everything that you've done for me for the last 23 years. I want to play once again the special cameo happy anniversary from Dave LaGreca to me and my wife. Let's see if I can get this thing to play right quick.
David and Christina, happy 23rd anniversary. I think that's awesome. You guys are the best. And Christina, and I'm not sure if you know this or not, but David and I have become very, very good friends. Okay, next time I'm out in Kansas, I'm going to have to visit you guys. So make sure if you're ever in this area, you reach out to me. But I think you guys are awesome. David is a frequent caller and a friend. He gave me that awesome TV championship title that I have here in my studio, in my office, which I absolutely love. And I really appreciate each and every time he calls. We may not see eye to eye every single time he calls, but I definitely love the contributions that he makes. And I hope you guys celebrate in a big way. I hope you do some LaGreca shit if you have the time to do it. Because the anniversary is the perfect time to do those things. So just wanted to say.
We did. Had an awesome time. And one thing I want to say is,
just wanted to say congratulations. It's awesome. 23 years. That's definitely a milestone that long. And obviously you guys are very much in love. So you guys have an awesome day. Go and celebrate. Be safe. Love each other. And I'll talk to you soon.
Wow, that was awesome.
David and Chris.
Don't need to hear it again, even though I have it saved on my phone, just because Dave's an awesome guy. His lovely wife, Violetta, they're awesome people. Can't wait to see him soon. But happy anniversary, Christina. I love you. I cherish you. And I don't know what I'd do without you. But, see here. Well, sorry about the quickness on this one. Got to run. I want to thank everybody for watching, for listening. Hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Tell your friends about it. Special shout out to my boy Theron Teeter, aka Too Much, for today's musical contribution. Thanks to a big shout out Sirius XM Satellite Radio, Monday through Friday and Saturday on channel 156. Check your times. It's 8 to 11 on Central. That's 9 to noon East Coast. 6 to 9 out in California. So check them out Monday through Saturday. Also check out LaGreca'sRage.com, RichPortCoffee.com, and support your support your local indie wrestlers. Once again, this has been David Mitchell, aka Dirty Mitch, signing out. And remember, I love you. Stay safe, stay good, and if you're gonna crash the canvas.
Heat 'em up, eat 'em up, cannibal. Talk back, cock back, ride with the hammer pulled. Everything that anybody saying understandable. Beast mode. Had it going like a battering ram. If I'm in the jam and have to go ham, I'ma throw hands on you and your man's. Make my opposition scatter and scram. Beast mode. Never nothing less. Riding with a